Welcome all for this fundamental of C programming tutorial. So what is data structure? It is way of organizing the data, right? So array is what? Array is a collection of elements of same data type, right? So to do program for array, I'm going to create a file. The name of that I'm giving to file is array.c. So that array.c is the name of my file, and in which I'm going to do activities related to array. So before we proceed, we know that we have to add some header files. So I'm adding header files stdio.h and hash include conio.h. I hope you know the purposes of these two header files, because in all our previous videos I have already given you the idea, right? Now program execution will start with main function. So main function is added, and now we are going to write the logic for our experiment, whatever program we want to do. So what program we want to do? First we want to, let's say, add elements of the array. What we have to do? Add elements of array. So for that purpose, what we require first the array. So I declare array name as A and size is 5. So I'm assuming that the number of elements in my array are 5. Then as we are accepting the numbers from user, so 5 elements we have to accept from user. That means what we need 5 scan statements. So instead of that, we can use looping statement, right? Whenever we do any task again and again, we go for looping statement. So for that we need a counter variable, and that is what I have taken as I. And one more variable I need, that is sum, in which I want to store addition of the elements of the array. So that's why sum variable is taken. Now I am not initializing sum with 0. We will see what problem occurs when sum is not initialized with 0, and then we will initialize that sum to 0. Now once all needed variable declaration is done, then we place here CLR. It will clear the previous output, and now we will give message to the user that enter 5 array elements. So how to give message to the user? By using printf statement. So enter array element. Okay, now in this array elements, how many elements user has to enter, that message we have to give. Otherwise user may enter more elements, and we don't want user to enter more elements. As array are static, their size is fixed. Now how many elements we want to accept? 5 elements. So 5 scan, instead of that we take the for loop. So we will use here for. Now we have to store that element in the array, and we know that array index starts with 0. So we will use the counter variable, and that counter variable's value we will use as an index. Means what? The counter variable I, whatever we are going to use, that is also we are going to use for loop, and also we are going to use as an index into the array. So here I, that is going to begin with 0, then I is less than equal to 4. Why less than equal to 4? Because we have to accept 5 elements. Array index starts with 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's why array condition that we have written is I less than equal to 4. Now as we are going from 0 to 4, that means we are increasing. So first 0, then 1, then 2. So that's why we have to increase the counter variable by 1. So that's why I++ is put here. Now here we will accept first number from the user. So scanf %d. Why %d is written? Because it is a format specifier for integer number, and where we want to store the value in the array. So that's why A of first value will go at location 0, second value will go at location 1, then 2, then 3, and then 4, right? So as the index values are increasing, in same way the value of I is also increasing. So that's why we are using that I as a index for the array. Now here the scanf statement is clear. Now we will get the first element in A of I, that is when the value of I is 0, it becomes A of 0. So when we get the value of A of 0, we have to add it into sum. So what we will do? Sum is equal to sum. Now see, previous whatever value of sum we have, in that only we have to add the first value of array. First, let's say assuming that the array values that I'm giving is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 will get added to the sum. So updated value of sum will be 1. Then next value is 2, that will get added into the sum. So updated value of sum is 1, that will become now 1 plus 2, that is 3. Then third value will be added to 3. Previous value of sum is now 3. So 3 plus 3 is 6, and so on. So that's why we need to perform sum is equal to sum plus a of I. So whatever value we have accepted, that value will get added into the sum, and then close the for loop, because as for loop will run, we will accept the value and we will add that value to the sum. At the end, we will get addition of all the entered numbers or elements of the array. And finally, what we have to do, we have to print the value of sum. So sum of array element is %d. Now in which variable that value is? In variable sum. So we will put here sum, we will give semicolon, and finally we will put get ch. We will put get ch. So sum of array element is %d coming from sum and get ch. Now I will run this program. So before that, let's compile it. Everything is okay. I'm running the program. Control F9. Enter array elements 5. So I started entering the array elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Enter. So sum of array element is 1307. What should be the answer? 15. But what I'm getting? Something wrong. Why? Because we haven't initialized the value of sum as 0. We have to initialize it with 0. If we are not initializing, it means that there will be garbage value in the sum. That garbage value is getting added. Is this clear? Now see what I'm doing. I'm just changing or initializing the value 0 to sum and running the same program and just giving the same input. Sum of array element is 15. Is this clear? Okay. Now the second task that you have to do is to find whether array element is even or odd. It's very simple. How we go for finding any element even or odd? Even number. What is even number? Divisible by 2, right? So now for this purpose, what I will do, I will comment this statement. Basically now I have accepted all array element, and now secondly what I will do, I will print all array elements. So I'm going to just copy this and paste that statement here, and instead of writing scan, now I will do print printf. I'm printing all the accepted values from the user. So these are the array element, that is what message I'm going to print. Okay, so array elements entered. So I will just copy this and I will paste it here, and I will give message as array elements are. Array elements are. So array element will get printed. Now I have to find which elements are even and which element are odd. So in this case, we know the logic for finding whether element is even or odd. That logic is whenever element is completely divisible by 2, it becomes the even, and we have to check all the elements. So for that purpose we need again for loop. So for I equal to 0, I less than equal to 4, and I plus plus. Now here in this for loop, I have to check what if the first number, that is a of I, is even. So is even. For that purpose, mod 2, that result is equal to 0. If it is like that, then that particular number is printf %d is even, and that number is coming from a of I. And if condition become false, a of I mod 2 is not equal to 0, then it will come in else part, and in else part we will print that %d is not or %d is odd. Instead of not even, we will put it as odd, and the value is coming from a of I again, semicolon. Let's do one thing. Here we will write \n, and here also we will put as \n. That's it. That is going to find which elements are even and which elements are odd, right? And now at the end we don't want to find the sum, so I am commenting the statement. Lastly, I have added get ch as it is. Now, is this logic clear to everyone? Okay, so let's compile this. Everything is okay, no problem. Let's run this. Control F9. Array elements are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now array elements are, and 1 is odd, 2 is even, 3 is odd, 4 is even, 5 is odd. This is what we have found out each element. But what if I want to find them separately? These elements are even, these elements are odd. Then in that case, we have to repeat the task 2 times. That means first for loop for finding even number, second for loop for finding odd number. Is this clear? Okay, fine.